T-Bird fans, we welcome you to a brand new edition of T-Bird Talk. I'm Cloud County Community College Sports Information Director, Toby Nosker. On this week's edition of T-Bird Talk, we'll be talking Cloud County softball when we're joined by sophomore pitcher and outfielder Berkleigh Curtis and freshman pitcher and outfielder Ava Boden. The Cloud County Community College softball team earned a midweek doubleheader sweep of Independence Community College on Wednesday. The T-Birds took Game 1 13-4 in 5 innings before earning an 8-2 win in 7 innings in Game 2. The doubleheader sweep was the second for Cloud County in Kansas Jayhawk Community College conference play. Now 16-14 overall and 7-7 in conference action, the T-Birds have matched last year's win total. Cloud County has won 3 consecutive games in 5 of their last 6. Cloud County opened the scoring in Game 1 with sophomore shortstop Malia Coster scoring on a throwing error on Independence. The T-Birds added 4 runs in the third inning. Freshman outfielder Maddie Harold hit a 2-out, 3-run home run to score Coster and freshman outfielder Brooke Lougheed. Freshman third baseman Hannah Gardner followed with a solo shot to left field to make it 5-0. Independence fired back with 2 runs in the bottom half of the third before the T-Birds pushed across 1 run in the fourth and 7 more in the fifth. Freshman designated player Cadence Hall scored on a defensive error in the fourth. Gardner, sophomore outfielder Berkleigh Curtis, freshman second baseman Allison Adams, and freshman first baseman J.C. Von Lintel each collected RBI singles in the fifth. Lougheed also added an RBI groundout as the T-Birds went on to win 13-4. Gardner, Harold, and Von Lintel had 2 hits each. Harold also drew 2 walks and drove in 3 runs. Gardner scored twice and had 2 RBIs. Coster crossed home plate 3 times, while Hall scored a pair of runs. Freshman pitcher Ava Boden earned the win in the circle. Boden pitched 4 2/3 innings, allowing 4 earned runs on 5 hits with 1 strikeout. Freshman Morgan Williams recorded the final out in relief. The T-Birds secured a decisive 8-2 victory in Game 2. Cloud County led off the scoring with 1 run in the second inning and 2 more in the third. Sophomore catcher Emily Johnson scored Gardner on an RBI single in the second frame. Coster and Harold scored on RBI grounders in the third. The Pirates trimmed the lead to 3-1 in the bottom half of the third inning, and both teams were kept off the scoreboard in the fourth. Adams scored when Boden reached on a fielder's choice in the top of the fifth, extending the T-Bird lead to 4-1. But Independence got a run back in the bottom half of the fifth off a Cloud County error. Harold drilled her second home run of the doubleheader on a 2-run blast in the top of the 6th inning, scoring Curtis. Harold leads Cloud County with 10 home runs this season, the most for a T-Bird since Riley Jones hit 14 in 2023. Johnson added her second career home run on a 2-run shot in the top of the 7th to give the T-Birds the 8-2 victory. Johnson went 3 for 4 at the plate with a home run, 1 run scored and 3 RBIs. Harold finished 2 for 3 with a home run and a double, 2 runs scored and 2 RBIs. Adams went 2 for 4 with a double, 1 run scored and 1 RBI. Harold moved to 7-7 on the season, pitching her 8th complete game. Harold allowed just 1 earned run on 4 hits with 4 walks and 9 strikeouts. Her 91 strikeouts on the season currently lead Kansas Jayhawk Community College Conference Division II. Cloud County will take on Highland Community College today at 1 p.m. at the Cloud County Community College softball field. And the games will be streamed live on the T-Bird Sports Network at cloudtbirds.com. Up next, we sit down with 2 members of the T-Bird softball team, Berkleigh Curtis and Ava Boden. This is T-Bird Talk.
Are you a Kansas or Nebraska high school senior who's thinking about your next step after high school? If so, you qualify for Cloud County Community College's $500 Early Bird Scholarship. All you have to do is visit campus before December 19th and have a GPA of 3.0 or higher, and you get a $500 scholarship guaranteed. So come visit Cloud and see why our students are Cloud proud. On your visit, you'll see our campus, meet with an academic advisor, and get a chance to have all your questions answered. Set up your campus visit today by giving us a call at 785-243-1435 extension 212 or visiting us online at cloud.edu/admissions.
This week on T-Bird Talk, an opportunity to visit with 2 members of the Cloud County Community College softball team. Joining us, we have sophomore Berkleigh Curtis and freshman Ava Boden, and I appreciate the 2 of you taking time to sit down with us. And Berkleigh, I want to start with you. And I know we had you on the podcast last year, and we were talking about a different sport at the time. We can touch on that in just a moment. But first off, where are you originally from?
I'm from Port Neches, Texas.
Growing up, did you play all kinds of sports?
Yeah, I played volleyball, basketball, softball, a little bit of soccer. I did cheer. I think that's it.
And so originally you came to Cloud and it's signed to play volleyball, and we're intending to solely focus on volleyball during your time here at Cloud County. And we had an opportunity to visit with you during your freshman season with the T-Birds. But then I started hearing conversations about maybe you were going to join the softball team. How did softball start entering the picture here at Cloud? How did this come to be?
Well, Suter used to work with TJ in the admissions office, so they knew each other, and we just happened to cross paths one time, and we jokingly asked if he needed a pitcher, and then it was a joke for a while, and then it became real, and here I am.
You were kind of hesitant, though, about saying yes. Was it just about the commitment factor of trying to do two sports and school and all of that?
Yeah, so school's really important to me, so I was really nervous to have to balance both, and I hadn't played softball in a while since I wanted to focus solely on volleyball. So it was just a big decision to actually end up joining the team.
Are you glad you made the decision?
I am. This has been the best decision I've made.
And what made you feel comfortable? Obviously, you had a friend, Ashley Suter, that you alluded to earlier, that made the decision as well to go out for softball. But ultimately, what led you to say yes?
You know, TJ was open with me about everything. He told me that no matter what, volleyball came first since that was the sport I was here for originally. But also, the girls were also welcoming, and it was just a really easy transition to join softball.
You mentioned being a pitcher. Did you grow up pitching during your entire time of softball? What positions did you play?
I did. So I started playing softball when I was 3.5, and I played shortstop, second base, outfielder, and then I started pitching when I was 7. And I've pitched the whole time I played softball and just played outfield from then on.
Were you nervous the first time you were getting out there with the team, having not played softball in a while and knowing that you were going to go up against, girls that have had a lot of success throughout their high school career and were here, mainly to focus on the game of softball?
Absolutely. I mean, I was going out there kind of blind. I didn't know what I was going to look like anymore. I had 2 years off before I joined, and I kind of just was hope for the best. And, I mean, if he needs me, he needs me. If it's bad, I'm on the bench. So,
no question about coming back for a second year, though. You were excited to do that?
No, I was absolutely 100% coming back.
Let's bring Ava Boden into the conversation as well. So, Ava, where are you from?
I'm from Derby.
So tell me a little bit about the activities and sports you grew up playing. What all did you do?
Yeah, so in high school, I played basketball, volleyball, and softball. And then I had quit basketball my sophomore year, quit volleyball my sophomore year, and focused just on softball.
Why softball? What is it about the game that you love so much?
I think that I love it so much because of all the energy and the atmosphere, getting to play with girls I love. And I've always just had good teammates on my softball teams. Those have always been the best memories that I've made.
Position-wise for you, you're a pitcher and an outfielder on the T-Bird team, but was that always the case for you? What did you grow up playing?
So I used to actually play second base, and I was an infielder. And then I started pitching when I was about 8, and I've pitched ever since. I was a catcher as well, so I would pitch and catch, which was kind of crazy. And then just recently I started playing outfield, and it's one of my favorite spots, so I'm really glad I tried that out.
When did you kind of realize, hey, maybe this is something that, after high school I might be able to continue to do? When did that kind of hit you, and why did you decide to pursue playing at the next level?
So I didn't decide that until really late in my career. I was actually a senior, and the time was coming up for me to commit. And I just kept asking myself, should I commit? Should I do this? Should I take the extra step? What should I do? And I think I talked to my coach about it, and she was like, look, you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it, but I think you should do it because you're never going to get these years back. And that's what really kind of pushed me, as I was like, I don't want to regret it and never get these years back, so I might as well just try it out.
When did you first hear about Cloud County Community College and Coach Sagabart? How did the conversations begin between you guys, and ultimately, why did you decide to come to Cloud County?
So he watched one of my club softball games, and he talked to my dad after the game, and my dad brought him up. And I didn't think much of it at first because I wasn't sure if I wanted to play at the next level. But he texted me every week or so, and I finally came out on a visit, and it just hit me while I was at my visit. I was like, I think this is the place where I want to be.
What was it that stood out? What was it that you liked about Cloud?
I think it's mostly the fact that TJ was one of the only coaches who kept on contacting me and really pushing me, and I knew that he was going to care for me, and he wanted me more than anybody else.
Had you ever been to Concordia, Kansas before?
No, but my dad grew up around here, and he had many stories to tell me about it.
What was your impression when you got here? Because Derby, for those that don't know, Derby kind of sits on the outskirts of Wichita, the biggest actual city in the state of Kansas. And so you come from a pretty big environment. Concordia is a lot smaller.
Yeah, it seemed pretty boring at first. I noticed that there wasn't much fast food to eat, and I was kind of disappointed in that. But otherwise, I was excited to try to see what a smaller school would look like compared to somewhere like Derby. And I think it's been fun, just the culture and everything, and how like everybody knows everybody.
Are you happy with your decision to come to Cloud?
Yes, I am. Absolutely.
Berkleigh, you mentioned school being important to you. So what is it that you're studying here at Cloud?
I'm going for pre-med, so I am graduating with an Associates of Science, and I also graduate with an Associates of Human Health and Performance in the fall. So, yeah.
With a goal of, what do you want to do?
I want to become a neurosurgeon.
Okay. And Ava, for you, what is it you're majoring in?
Elementary education.
And what do you want to do then?
Be a kindergarten teacher.
And so, Ava, how have you found, separate from softball, we'll talk about the game and the sport in just a minute, but just life here on your own now, in adjusting to a new school, coming from high school to now college, being here at Cloud, how has that transition gone? How do you feel like you've adjusted to it?
It's been good. My high school is actually bigger than Cloud is, so it's kind of crazy just how small the classes are and just how there's less people here.
But has it made it nice to transition to where you do know most everybody that's here? And
yes.
That you get to build kind of a relationship maybe with the professors, the teachers, the staff, that at a bigger school you don't get that opportunity. Do you like that?
Yes, there's a much bigger support system here just with teachers and friends. I have a lot more friends here too, and it just feels like there's more people to help me out when I need it.
Berkleigh, I remember last year when we were on the podcast, and it was still early on after you had moved to campus from your home in Texas. It might have been a little homesick a little bit, making such a journey away from, your family and friends. Was that a tough period for you, getting adjusted to just being on your own for the first time and being away from, your way of life and the people that you knew growing up?
Kind of. My family is a huge support system. We've always been very close with everyone. All cousins, everything, like big family. So it's kind of weird being out here on my own and like not seeing my mom in the stands and not seeing my granny everywhere and all of those people that have been with me throughout all of my school years and all of my activities.
Do you feel like you've adjusted well, though, to life, and have you enjoyed your time here at Cloud?
I do. I feel like I have found like a different side of me of where I can live on my own and still know that I can always go home and that they're always going to be there.
As far as school goes, obviously, as you said, you're on a pre-med track. I know I've taken some fairly tough classes during your time here at Cloud. Ava mentioned that feels like, everybody's pretty supportive, though. Have you found that to be the case, that the teachers are pretty supportive of you guys?
Oh, absolutely. I can go in and talk to any one of my teachers, and they'll help me out in any way. I can go in during office hours, or even like if they're having another class, they'll let me come sit in and do work and ask questions if I need to. So that's been really helpful.
Ava, you're not too far from home. Maybe just far enough to where you kind of enjoy your life separate from them. But I know you've got family that's been able to attend a lot of your games this season. So has that meant a lot to you to be able to still have some people come and be able to attend and see you perform?
Absolutely. I think my dad's been my favorite supporter. I mean, he used to coach me, so that that comes into factor, but also just the fact that he's never missed one of my games. So I think it's so important that he can still make it to the games.
You mentioned really focusing on the game of softball after your sophomore year of high school and playing club ball, not just high school ball, those sorts of things. But coming here to Cloud, you really have to dedicate yourself to the team and to the program. You had a fall season, of course, now the regular season here in the spring, but I know there's been a lot of off-season workouts, conditioning, things like that. Did any of that catch you by surprise? Has that been tough to balance with schoolwork and everything else? How much you have to commit to just the sport itself here at college?
Yeah, it's been a struggle. I think the hardest thing was actually CrossFit, because that was crazy. The first CrossFit workout, I was very surprised. But other than that,
surprised by how challenging it was, or what surprised you?
Yes, how challenging it was. I really did not know. I tried to do CrossFit back in high school with my high school friend, but it never worked out or whatever. So when I came here, I was like, oh, like, I'm going to be ready. Like, I've been wanting to do this. And I was like, wow, that's a workout for you. But otherwise, it's been good. Like, balancing it is hard, but I set aside enough time for my schoolwork and for practice, so it works out.
You mentioned having a support system here, people that kind of back you, want to see you succeed. I mean, even your CrossFit coach comes out to a lot of your games. Do you hear from people that maybe you don't even know them? Sometimes will say something in the hall to you like, hey, great game, or, anything like that?
Yeah, all the time. Teachers, staff, all of them. I'm like, I don't know you, but thank you.
Berkleigh, for you coming back, focusing on softball this season, committing a little bit more time to it this year than what you did last year. Talk a little bit about that transition for you, and then what has the conversations been like with Coach Sagabart, Coach Russell? What did they ask of you guys, like as returning sophomores, to kind of help guide, the newcomers like Ava this season? Did they ask you to kind of show them the way or anything like that?
Yeah, they kind of were just like, make them feel at home, try to form a really bonded team, make it like a family, have events, get everyone together, have a dinner or do something, just try to make it like a family, but also make it to where you're building a culture. We're trying to keep this culture for years on end, and, we're all building something new, and it starts from the bottom.
And I saw kind of the foundations of that laid down last year in Coach Sagabart's first year, but I feel like this team, and maybe I'm wrong, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like you guys are pretty close. Seems like you have a lot of fun being on the road together, practicing together, all of those sorts of things.
Absolutely. I mean, everyone can go to everyone on the team, and if they need help, if they just want to escape from something they're doing or get their mind off of things, I think anyone on this team can go and run to someone, and everyone's going to be there for each other, and we all have fun together, and it's just a big family.
Ava, were you familiar with anybody on the team? Did you know anybody coming in?
I did not.
So what's that been like, having to get to know a new set of teammates, coaches, all of that?
It's been great. I love the people here. Kendall, I guess technically we met one night, but that was really it. But I love her. She's my roommate, and I think she's so supportive, and she's helped me just get through this year. We've kind of been there for each other, and I think everyone's great. Everyone has each other's back. Everyone's there for each other.
It feels like it's a long buildup, though, with all of the CrossFit and the conditioning and as I said, the fall season, everything finally building to where you're finally able to start competing in late February. And now it seems like the season has just flown by, less than 2 weeks to go in the regular season at this point. How excited were you for the season to finally arrive and to actually get out there and start playing, though?
I was so excited. I was ready to go. I thought the fall we performed amazing, and I was excited for our spring season, and I think it's been great.
You both play multiple positions, but really the same positions, pitcher and outfield. Ava, do you have a preference? Which position you like the most?
That's a hard one. I don't know. I really, there's different pros and cons to both of them, so it really depends on the day. If I'm not pitching so well, I think I like outfield more.
What about you, Berkleigh?
I love the outfield. Of course, it does depend on the day, because when you're having a good pitching day, you just want to stay there the whole time. But It's absolutely, I think it's the outfield for me.
Well, let's talk a little bit about how the season has gone to this point. At this stage, 500 record, obviously some ups and downs, but Berkleigh as a whole, how do you feel like things have gone for the team?
I mean, I think we're doing good. We're improving every game, I feel like, and I just think that we're ready to win. Like, we want to go, we are ready to battle, and we want to see our name up there.
I know a couple of weeks ago when I had an opportunity to visit with two of your teammates, Maddie Harold and Emily Johnson, on the podcast, and I asked them what the goals were for the team. They both just said, we want to get to the postseason, see what happens from there. Do you agree?
Absolutely. I want to go to playoffs. I want to make a far run. Absolutely.
Ava, for you, how do you feel like things have gone this season?
I think they've been great. You can definitely tell in our practices, like, we work hard, we want it, we're ready to win, and we'll do anything it takes.
For you personally, how do you feel like you've played at this point in the year?
I think I've performed well. I do hold myself to a very high standard, so when I do have an off game, I'm very hard on myself, but so far I think it's been great.
You were kind of nodding along as Berkleigh was talking about, if things are going well in the circle, you kind of just want to camp out there and live there forever. Do you like having the ball in your hands, maybe a little bit of pressure, knowing that, the team's kind of backing you, relying on you a little bit?
I do. I like the pressure. Actually, I honestly might do better in pressure situations. I've kind of trained myself to erase things if they do happen in the game, so I'm not so stressed about pitching, but just excited to be out there because I do trust myself and I want to win. And I know what I'm capable of.
Berkleigh, what's that like for you, stepping into those situations where, the team's kind of relying on you a bit?
I agree with Ava about that. I think I perform best under pressure. It's hard going out there and, you start every moment. It is everything's on you. And I think that that's a very high-pressure situation, but it also just makes the game so much better.
So for you personally, how do you feel like you've played to this point in the year?
I think I've done good. I also hold myself to a very high standard, and when I don't meet that, it is hard. But I think that as a whole, I've been performing well this year.
Did you come back feeling more comfortable this year than where you were last year? Again, joining the team late, so obviously you were late to everything, but probably had some self-doubt a little bit too about whether you really deserved to be there. So did you come back this year feeling more comfortable in what you can do as a player?
Absolutely. Coming back from last year, I kind of knew that, this is my position. I have earned my spot. I do deserve to be here, and I do belong. I knew that I was coming back, and I was coming back just to do good for myself and do good for the team.
You have 4 pitchers on staff between the two of you, Maddie Harold, that I said we talked to a couple of weeks ago, Morgan Williams, also a pitcher. Do you feel like you guys are pretty supportive of each other, that even if it's not me that's called on to pitch this game, I'm there and I'm really cheering on, whoever else may be in this circle?
Absolutely. I think we all want the best for each other. And if someone's struggling on one point, we're sitting there and we're cheering them on, and we're like, hey, why don't you try this? Hey, do this. Or just breathe. You can, we know you can, we're here.
What's that been like for you, Ava, working with the staff that you guys do in the pitching rotation?
It's been good. I enjoy that when somebody's off, another person is on, so I can always trust, if I'm not doing so well, I know Maddie will come in and finish the game for me. I know Berkleigh can come in and finish the game. I know Mo can. I think it's a great system.
What's the relationship like with the catchers? And how supportive are they in their role and their work with you guys when you're out there pitching?
The catchers do an amazing job at just making us feel like we're the center of the attention. This is our game. They have our back, but they know we are the princesses. So it's been great.
For you, making the adjustment from high school now to college ball and playing in a pretty tough division in the conference that we play in, and going up against schools like, Johnson County, Kansas City, Kansas, and knowing that, hey, everybody that's surrounding me on my team was probably the best player on their high school team, but now I'm having to pitch against, the best player on that person's high school team too. You talk about performing well under pressure, but has it shocked you how good, the teams are that you go up against and the quality of talent that you guys play?
Yes, but also coming from a 6A, it is a lot of the same talent, and I am seeing some of the girls I used to play against. So it's refreshing knowing that, like, I'm right there on that same level with them. But also I try not to think about it too much because I don't want to put those thoughts in my head and get stressed out about it.
Berkleigh as a whole, what do you like the most about being a part of the softball team here at Cloud?
I just like the people. Everyone I'm surrounded by is just so nice, and everyone hypes up everyone. We just have so much fun, and I love that we have so much fun, but we're also all hungry for a win, and we go out there, and honestly, if we go out there on our best day or even our average day, we can beat anybody, and I love that.
Ava, for you, what's been your favorite part about being part of this team?
Definitely my teammates. We have a lot of fun, and I think that's what college is about. It's just having fun, but also winning, which we also do. So I think that's great.
So we talked a little bit about goals, wanting to get to the postseason. Is there anything else goal-wise that you're kind of focusing on, whether for yourself or for the team, things that you're hoping to accomplish during your time here at Cloud?
I think just getting to the postseason, obviously, but also just having more fun, because I think I forget a lot that softball is about, yes, it is about winning, but it's also about having fun. So I'm trying to challenge myself to smile more or not be so serious, not take everything and be so hard on myself about it.
Berkleigh, I'm sure you knew I was going to ask this question eventually. Your time here at Cloud's about to wrap up, though. What's the future hold for you? Are you wanting to play and continue to play softball?
I am looking to go play, but if that doesn't work out, I am absolutely ready to get started and go to med school and just finish school and start my job. But I absolutely want to play for as long as I can.
Don't regret the decision to come out for softball. How much did just softball, being a part of this team, make the experience at Cloud here better for you?
Softball brought me so many new people that I probably would have never even talked to if I just played volleyball. So it absolutely has changed my whole Cloud experience and made it so much better.
I ended the conversation with Maddie and Emily a couple of weeks ago with this question, so I want to ask you both the same. But if there's, if Coach Segabart was bringing a girl on campus that he's interested in recruiting and they were to sit down with you and they'd ask you, why should I, number one, come to Cloud, but why should I come play softball at all? Like, if they are having concerns about whether they even want to continue, Berkleigh first, what would you say to them? Why do you feel like they should continue to play?
Like Ava said earlier, you only have so many years that you can do this for. Try it. I promise you most likely will not regret it, because it has been some of the most fun. Like, the people you meet, the just memories you make, it's all worth it.
Ava, is that your answer?
Yep, exactly what I said earlier.
Well, as we make our way towards the end of the regular season, I want to wish you both the best of luck with everything. And if certainly postseason looking like a possibility. Hopefully it comes. A few more games remain in the regular season first, but should we make it there, definitely want to wish you both the best of luck. But I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
Are you a Kansas or Nebraska high school senior who's thinking about your next step after high school? If so, you qualify for Cloud County Community College's $500 early bird scholarship. All you have to do is visit campus before December 19th and have a GPA of 3.0 or higher, and you get a $500 scholarship guaranteed. So come visit Cloud and see why our students are Cloud proud. On your visit, you'll see our campus, meet with an academic advisor, and get a chance to have all your questions answered. Set up your campus visit today by giving us a call at 785-243-1435 extension 212 or visiting us online at cloud.edu/admissions.
My thanks to Cloud County Community College sophomore Berkleigh Curtis and freshman Ava Boden from the T-Bird softball team for joining us this week on T-Bird Talk. The Cloud County Community College softball team is back in action today as they will host Highland Community College at 1 p.m. at the Cloud County Community College softball field. Both games will stream live on the T-Bird Sports Network at cloudtbirds.com. Today, we will also stream a doubleheader featuring the Cloud County Community College baseball team against the Cougars of Barton Community College. The Cloud County Community College baseball team remains number 5 in the latest NJCAA Division I baseball rankings. The T-Birds slugged 7 home runs and 2 doubles Monday on their way to a 15-5 non-conference victory over Kansas Wesleyan University JV, improving their record to 40-4 on the season. The T-Birds have clinched their fourth 40-win season in the last 5 years. The T-Birds jumped out to a 13-1 lead midway through the fifth inning and scored 1 run in the seventh and 1 more in the ninth to move to 17-2 in true road games this season. Cloud Kenny trailed 1-0 at the end of the first inning before scoring 6 runs in the top of the second. Sophomore first baseman Luke Clayton led off the inning with a solo home run. Redshirt freshman designated hitter Simon Baker was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded, scoring sophomore catcher Vassia Seymour. Freshman outfielder Kellen Burke followed with a 2 RBI double, bringing in redshirt freshman second baseman Evan Gunn and sophomore shortstop Lucas Laukinen. Baker and Burke both scored on defensive errors to make it 6-1. Gunn homered in the third for his third home run of the season, while Green scored on an error in the fourth to push the lead to 8-1. Freshman London Dingwell opened a 5-run fifth inning with a 3-run home run, scoring Gunn and Laukinen. Burke and Clayton both added solo shots of their own to make it 13-1. Clayton now has 4 home runs in the last 2 games. The Coyotes answered with a solo home run in the fifth and plated 2 more runs in the sixth. Redshirt freshman Tanner Jacobson led off the seventh inning with a home run for his 5th of the year, but Kansas Wesleyan extended the game with another run-scoring single in the bottom of the 7th. After both teams were held off the scoreboard in the 8th, Cloud Kenny capped the scoring in the top of the 9th inning with a solo home run from sophomore Carter Cathers, his 4th long ball of the year. The T-Birds collected 18 hits in the win. Clayton led the offense by going 5 for 6 with 2 home runs, 2 runs scored, and 2 RBIs. Gunn went 2 for 3 with a home run, 3 runs scored, and 1 RBI. Burke also had a 2-hit day with a home run and a double, 2 runs scored, and 3 RBIs. Dingwell also drove in 3 runs. Laukinen scored twice, while Baker added a double. Cloud Kenny used 5 different pitchers in the win. Freshman Jet Wallmeyer started the contest, throwing 2 innings, where he allowed 1 earned run on 1 hit with 2 strikeouts. Sophomore Hayden Malays pitched 2 innings, giving up 2 hits with no runs. Freshman Bradley Janes had 3 strikeouts in 1 inning of work. Freshman Jacob McAdams also registered 3 strikeouts in 2 innings pitched. Redshirt freshman Cooper Tannehill closed the game with 2 scoreless innings, allowing no hits while punching out 5. The T-Birds are back at home today to open a 4-game Kansas Jayhawk Community College Conference Series against Barton Community College. First pitch is scheduled for noon, and live coverage of both games can be found on the T-Birds Sports Network at cloudtbirds.com. The Cloud Kenny Community College women's track and field team remains at number 7 in the latest National Track and Field Rating Index released this week by the United States Track and Field and Cross Country Coaches Association. Cloud County last competed at the Emporia State University Relays last week. Freshman Scholastica Herman captured a first-place finish in the women's 800-meter run with a national qualifying time of 2:15:03. Herman also registered a runner-up finish in the women's 1,500-meter run with a time of 4:40:55 and was part of the Cloud Kenny women's 4x400-meter relay team that placed 4th with a time of 3:56:17. For her efforts, Herman has been named the Kansas Jayhawk Community College Conference Women's Outdoor Track Athlete of the Week for the 2nd time this season. Freshman Natasia Burrell picked up a runner-up finish in the women's shot put with a toss of 48 feet 10 1/4 inches. In the women's discus, freshman Zoe Sudbeck scored a 3rd-place finish with a throw of 139 feet 9 inches. The Cloud County Community College men's track and field team continues to climb in the latest United States Track and Field and Cross Country Coaches Association National Track and Field Rating Index. The T-Birds have moved up 2 spots in the Week 4 rankings and are now the 11th ranked team in NJCAA Division I. The Cloud Kenny men's 4x400-meter relay team broke the school record at last week's Emporia State University Relays with a time of 3:08:38. Members of the team are sophomores Barafa Abdulisis and Alpha Mpufu and freshmen Nico Eilette and Gage Taylor. Mpufu broke another school record in the 400-meter dash, winning the race with a time of 46:21. Mpufu also captured a runner-up finish in the men's 200-meter dash with a time of 20:71. Sophomore Aziz Ben Brahim scored a runner-up finish in the men's 800-meter run with a national qualifying time of 1:53:21. Freshman Connor Matthews recorded a runner-up finish in the men's triple jump with a national qualifying mark of 50 feet, 4.5 inches. This week, Matthews has been named the Kansas Jayhawk Community College Conference Men's Outdoor Field Athlete of the Week and the NJCAA Men's Outdoor National Field Athlete of the Week. Matthews becomes the first Kansas Jayhawk Community College Conference athlete during the 2026 outdoor season to earn national accolades. The Cloud County Community College women's and men's track and field teams head to Hays, Kansas today for the Alex Francis Classic, marking their final tune-up before the 2026 Region 6 and Kansas Jayhawk Community College Conference Outdoor Track and Field Championships next week. We'll be talking more track and field, baseball and softball in the weeks to come here on T-Bird Talk as we make our final push to the end of the 2025-2026 school year. New episodes of T-Bird Talk drop each Thursday, so make sure you are subscribed on your favorite podcast platform. T-Bird Talk is a production of the Cloud County Community College Athletic Department.